Hello, Branton here. I want to share with you how I healed myself of type 1 diabetes in 3 weeks. Although I'm talking about diabetes, I think you'll find the same process is true for most illness today, whether it's cancer, multiple sclerosis or other autoimmune disease. The reason for this becomes a lot clearer as soon as we start to see the world as composed of frequencies. I described this in day 15 of the Troubles Away program. Here are the two main insights from that module. First, the natural world has its own harmonic system of frequency that supports life. Our world is currently saturated with frequencies that are not part of this harmonic system. Because they are vibrating at frequencies that are not part of the harmonic frequencies of nature, these man-made frequencies disrupt life-giving systems of the earth, including our bodies. This is how they're killing us. These disruptive frequencies are coming from 5G, microwaves, car exhaust, medication, pesticides in food and your shampoo. Whatever their origin, their effect is the same. They disrupt the frequency harmonics of your body and the natural world. Second, beliefs and emotions are also frequencies. The more negative the emotion, the longer the wavelength, or lower the frequency. The more positive the emotion, the shorter the wavelength. Put another way, positive emotions have a higher vibration. The Troubles Away program reveals where negative feeling beliefs come from and how to remove them. For now, we need to realize that we have been for thousands of years bringing low frequency vibrations into our lives. It is these toxic low frequencies of negative emotion and belief that are the cause of the avalanche of troubles in our lives today, including disease. With this vibrational framework, let's get on with the story. I'd been losing weight for some months. At the same time, the classic signs and symptoms of diabetes were appearing. Increasingly, I had insatiable thirst. If I drank water, it only made it worse. The sensation was like some descriptions from hell. The more you drink, the more insatiable your thirst becomes. I think this experience is a very apt description of the world we live in. We live in hell because we have no idea where our troubles are coming from. The harder we fight, more troubles appear. Is this not hell? My feet were also in trouble. For years I've had athlete's foot and chilblains from poor circulation. As I started to read about diabetes, I realized these conditions could lead to gangrene and amputation. Once amputated, diabetics generally live only another 8 years. Besides the loss of physical strength, the worst symptom was a constant compelling need to urinate. Type 1 diabetes means that there is either not enough insulin being produced by the pancreas to encourage the cells of the body to remove the sugar in the blood, or that these cells have for some reason become resistant to the messages from insulin. The constant need to urinate was the body eliminating this excess sugar in my urine. The consequence of this was that no matter how much food I ate, I was starving to death because my cells were not absorbing the sugar produced. It took me a long time to finally acknowledge that there was something seriously wrong with me. But as soon as I did accept this, I was able to do something about it. The solution came, as I suggest for most today's illnesses, in returning to the frequencies of the natural world. This took place in 4 ways: diet, herbs, like Hofsky's multi-wave oscillator, and changing feeling beliefs. Let me share each of these in turn. First, the diet. For 20 years I've eaten an organic, high protein and vegetable diet. Now I needed something else. Fortunately, I knew what to do because in the 1980s my mother, Leslie Kenton, wrote a bestseller called Raw Energy, all about the healing powers of raw food. At first I tried a plant-based diet of cooked and uncooked food, but this did not work. What I needed to heal was the resonant frequencies of living food. So I embraced a totally raw diet of organic salads, seed cheeses and other delights in order to increase the frequencies of the natural world in my system and restore the body's normal function. One of the side benefits of going totally raw is that within a couple of days I found my taste and sense of smell returning. I started to really savour my meals in a way I had not done in decades. When I weeded the garden, I could smell the unique scent of each plant I pulled up. Next are the herbs. I'm also fortunate in that my wife, Lada, is an integrated doctor with a wide range of healing modalities including emotional freedom technique, Japanese acupuncture and herbs. You can visit her website at drlada.com. As soon as we knew I had diabetes, she gave me a bewildering range of herbs and supplements to take. Like the raw food, these boosted the natural frequencies of my body so that it could heal itself. But my good fortune did not stop there. My brother Aaron had one of Lakhovsky's multi-wave oscillators, which I was able to borrow and spend an hour or two each day seated between it. Lakhovsky's great breakthrough with the oscillator was to recognize that, as we discussed above, life on Earth operates at its own harmonic frequencies. The oscillator basically broadcasts these frequencies into the body, potentizing each cell in order to return it to its proper function. Lakhovsky likens the cell to a battery. A normal cell has an electrical potential of 70 millivolts, an aged cell at 50 millivolts, and a cancer or ill cell at 15 millivolts. The multi-wave oscillator restores the electrical potential of the cell by setting up a high energy field in and around the body through resonance. I believe without the oscillator my return to health may never have happened. Finally, the last aspect of my journey out of diabetes was the need to let go of false beliefs. I see my diabetes as a way I am releasing the feeling beliefs in the cupboard of the unconscious that is the purpose of the Troubles Away program. For me, the big one was to let go of the need for control. In her book, You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay says that diabetes is about, quote, longing for what might have been, a great need to control, deep sorrow, no sweetness left, end quote. And her cure is, quote, this moment is filled with joy. I now choose to experience the sweetness of today, end quote. I'd say that's about right for me. Only I feel I'm returning to the joy of my true identity after 3,500 years in a desiccated environment we've lived in since the events of around 1500 BC. As a child, I used to have a recurring dream of underground passages without a drop of moisture or life. I've always wondered about them, and now believe they describe the illusion that began around 1500 BC when we experienced separation from the source of all there is. If you think about it, diabetes is a form of self-starvation. It does not matter how much I ate, the body just could not assimilate the food. What an appropriate expression of the self-judgment, guilt and shame held in the cupboard of the unconscious. The cure for me is to return to the joy of my true nature, which is the whole point of the Troubles Away program. This return to joy is supported by the acrobat visualization given for diabetes by Dr. Jerry Epstein. The visualization is all about having fun as you dance your way across a stream. It's been almost 3 weeks since I accepted I had diabetes. All the classic symptoms of unquenchable thirst, sweet urine and constant urination are gone. What happened? Simply, I allowed my body and mind to bathe in the resonant frequencies of the natural world. This, it seems to me, is what it's all about. The return to the harmonic frequencies of the natural world is the way to cure not just diabetes. Most illness today, including cancer and multiple sclerosis, are due to the toxic overload in our environment. The cure in each case is to give the body what it needs in terms of life-enhancing nature frequencies to allow it to heal itself. Nothing else seems to be working. For example, the contribution of chemotherapy to 5-year survival in adults is just 2.1% in the United States. Clearing the illusionary low-frequency beliefs in the camp of the unconscious is, I believe, the necessary first step. As Dr. Jenny Goodman says in her excellent book, Staying Alive in Toxic Times, first you have to remove exposure to toxicity before you can effect a cure. This is why I created Troubles Away, to remove the original toxicity of the feeling beliefs we can possibly act on that create the avalanche of toxicity in our world that is overwhelming us. Enjoy.